Hey friends, welcome to this week's video. Let's jump straight to it. I am talking to you guys today specifically about joy, but I'll let you in on why this is the subject for this week. So, as you know, I love to go down rabbit holes and sort of educate myself on certain things. And when I read a certain passage or I come along it in my studies of the Bible, and in my daily devotionals and stuff, I tend to do a lot of research and I tend to do a lot of self-reflection. I look at myself and say, how does this apply to me? Because all things in the Bible, I feel like, apply to us at some point. But in any way, there was something that an author of a devotional posed to me this week that made me go, that's a really good one. It made me really stop and think. And basically the subject for this devotional was I don't know what makes me happy anymore, I think is what the title of this particular devotional. And it basically talks about, like, this whole devotional talks about, like, what's the myth and then what's the truth about that myth. Because the Bible does reveal the truth on a lot of things. So the myth was joy will just magically show up when life starts to get easier. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, yeah, we know that's a myth, right? But in the moment, do we actually know that? When life isn't so great, are we seeing the joy that actually does exist in our lives? Are we, and what are we doing to proactively go after it? And the truth, it mentions that the truth is you have to pursue it like it's worth finding again. And that really got me thinking. It's a really long devotional, so I won't read it for you, but basically I walked away from this and I was like, I walked away thinking joy really is a mindset. Because I don't know how many seasons I've been in where I just feel like I'm always kind of on a downhill slope. And when you allow yourself to get into a situation where you're just boiling about it, or you're just upset about the current season that you're in, you wish you were in a season where things were okay. Like, can things just be okay for a little while, right? Can we just stop getting attacked? Can we just stop, having bills to pay? Can we just stop having to pay for that? Can we just stop with the drama going on at school or at work or what have you? Truth is, and I think that this is what I got out of this devotional, is truth is there's always going to be something, and so joy is what we're specifically talking about. Joy really is, I feel like, a mindset. You have to seek it out. You have to find the joy. And here's what I'm doing on this. And I'll never tell you guys, so go seek joy. And I'm not actively doing something like this myself. Like, I'm actively, when I pose these things to you, I'm challenging you guys to do these things, is because I'm probably going through it myself, or have gone through it myself at a certain point. So I would love us all to maybe take some time and reflect, to remember on, like, what were things that made us joyful? What were things that made us happy? What were you doing in that moment, right? When was the last time you found true, genuine delight in something? And what was it? How can you bring it back to your life? How can you, make it apply again? What practices or patterns did you notice when you were in that period, right? And then ask God to bring one thing to mind today that makes your heart come alive. I walked away from this devotional and I was like, wow, this is a really cool challenge. So I would love for us to fire off in the comments. Try to remember something that made you really happy, that brought you a lot of delight and joy. And when you saw it, you were like, oh, or when you started it, you were just really excited. And today I almost went straight through and didn't even talk about today's anchor verse. So this week's anchor verse is from Galatians. So it's Galatians 5. One second, let me find it again. Galatians 5:22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things, there is no law. Now, what that basically means is if you have these things, if you practice these things in your life, nothing's going to stop you. Not a freight train, not nothing. So actively seeking those things out and making them a practice to be chasing after those things, I think will be, I think is the key, is what is really what this passage is really saying. And I'm going to share with you guys something that I'm kind of currently doing and I've been putting off, if I'm being honest. I found myself like all of a sudden, I don't really dive into my hobbies anymore. I'm really big on like making things with my hands. Like I love crafting. I love making homemade ice cream. I just love building crafts and giving them to people as gifts. It's just really something that I've always really loved. And I kind of forgot or just said to myself, I don't have time for that. Oh, I'll get to it. Oh, and I'm making a commitment to myself starting this week that I'm going to get back into my crafting. So I bought a bunch of stuff. Well, this comes from a Christmas gift my sister got me last year that I still haven't really opened or done anything with. And I'm promising myself that I'm going to jump into that. And so she bought me a wood burning kit, which I absolutely used to love to do in my early 20s. And so I'm really excited about getting back into it. I bought myself a bunch of supplies and I have a bunch of ideas and I got some things. I bought these things on an auction website. I'm going to make some ornaments out of them and stuff like that. I'm super stoked. And I know it sounds silly, but these are things that bring me a lot of joy. And I'm really hoping to bring myself a lot of joy and then give them away. And hopefully they'll make someone's day. I think, I hope so anyway. Anyway, that is the challenge for this week. So I would love for you guys to light up the comments with what are you doing? What thing are you going to do to pursue that joy? What thing is it that you haven't had in a while? What's something that brought you true delight and that you're going to get back into? Because I think it's super important for us to be doing that on a regular basis. If I could get you guys to do one more thing for us this week, another thing that brings us a lot of delight, myself and Jake, is we absolutely love coming up with and making these videos for you. Just coming up with how is it that we can pour into you guys? Now we need your help. We sent out a link with some. It's a survey. Basically, we want you to survey and to fill it out and let us know what subjects you guys want to hear about in our devotionals. Just give us a little idea. We've had a couple of responses, but we would absolutely love more. I think if we could get like maybe 10 or 15 more responses on there, it'll really help us kind of gauge what direction we're going to go in next. Jake put together this really awesome template for us. So I'm going to send it in the link of the video as well as in the email. So if you guys could just take a quick look at it and say, what on those lists would you love to hear about more? And I think there's an option where you can hit other and you could fill in what you would like to see. Like if there's not an option for what you're thinking of, you can go in and actually add your own. So that would be really cool if you guys could do that for us. Love you guys. Can't wait to serve with you guys this weekend. Sorry, the video is a little bit longer and a little bit later than I would like to have sent out in the week. There's just been a lot of stuff going on campus and stuff, but we are ready for a really great weekend. I think it's going to be busy. We are still trending up on our attendance. So looking forward to serving a lot of cheeseburgers and a lot of caramel macchiatos this weekend. So I'm excited to serve alongside you guys. Talk to you this week.